Hello and hi, my little bunnies and beans. Today's video, I actually added 3 this time because the last island is just going to be ice. So today we're going to the Floating Frost Forest, the Traveler Swamp, and the Volcanic Isles for today. First, we're going to be heading to the Floating Frost Forest. The Floating Frost Forest is an enigma of itself. Nobody knows where it came from. A large floating island that stays situated in the same spot. Nobody knows why or how it can do this. But its cold waters that drop from its large lake flows right off the side and into the Titanic Ocean, which creates a very cold area around where it floats. The plant life here is also strange of its own. The crystal clear waters that is made up of this place is very clear and shining blue. You can see literally all the way down to the bottom, but it's cold to the touch. How cold is this place? As cold as the coldest planet in the universe. I'll leave that up for the imagination to all y'all that want to figure that out. But, going back to the story, but the trees and plants are also strange too. The trees can grow special fruit that you can eat raw, but will give you quite the brain freeze and in some cases could cause numbing and frostbite. But if properly prepared, it can be turned immediately into a delicious frozen treat. This place has seasonal snowstorms, which could last up for a week. The shortest it has lasted is up to a day. The trees are blue, and their trunks are snow white, giving the illusion that the trees are fragile. They're not. But this place is more for seasoned hunters. Next, we're heading to the Traveler Swamp. The Traveler Swamp is a mix of the forest and the wetlands. But the creatures that live here prefer the damp and warm areas of the swamp. Though it is covered mostly in water, and the trees, these are quite thick and tall, but it is relatively somewhat of a peaceful place. The monsters here will not really attack you unless you show to be any form of threat, or if you're entering their territory. Other than that, this place is also mainly for the more seasoned hunters. Things out here. But the trees themselves, their leaves are of a dark green, and their trunks are also quite dark themselves. Almost the same as the trees in the Shadow Forest, but the absence of the tree's trunks being pitch black. The trees themselves can grow in many different ways. Some grow straight, some grow with a strange curve to them, and all that. This place is also good for fishing. You can fish for many different types of fish, some also having different elements to them too. In the mornings, this place is warm and misty, and at night, it's cool and a little damp. The waters, despite their color, is actually fresh water that can be drank unless you do a lot of filtering. Be careful in the swamps. Now this one I added because I didn't want it to be its own video and separate. The Volcanic Isles. I had a smidge bit of trouble thinking of what exactly I wanted the Volcanic Isles to look like or feel like. So I thought, how about I think about my adorable little tameable pet you can get from here, the Candle Pup. And I thought, how about I think of elements from some other places. And then I thought of the game My Singing Monsters and saw the two areas. They have Fire Haven and I forgot what the other one was called, but something to do with fire. But I thought, how about I think about those elements and repurpose them into a different way, because I do not like exactly copying what other artists have done. That's just something I don't like to do. But going back to the story, the Volcanic Isles is very hot. How hot? Hotter than the desert. But it's still habitable. The trees seem like to be made of wax. Always look like it's melting. You can touch the tree, it's just gonna be a little warm. Not too warm that you can't touch it, but warm enough that you can feel it. The grass is gray in color, but it's flexible. Be careful not to cut yourself when you're walking around there, because it's akin to metal. There are also small piles of these molten rocks that lay around. The trees are pitch black with orange and yellow going through them. And the trees, their leaves are ashen, if they have them. And the rivers is just filled with lava. Thank you all for watching. And thank you all for the support. And I'm going to be trying a different way to explain the story. And I also realized I haven't even shown off any character. So we're going to go to the Silent Hills, the Fang Mountains, and another place. I'm also going to be showing off the different races that you can play. Instead of, being the standard human, you can play as different races of this world. Till then, see you then. Bye bye.